Stephen in Hong Kong, but virtually this week we're in Stuttgart in Germany. So,
Yes,
Annita, have you ever been to Stuttgart?
I have been to Stuttgart and have been there a couple of times, of course, with my Pan Am career. And recently, about a year and a half ago or so, I was there also with our guest that we have on with us today.
Hi,
And
nice to meet you.
I and I haven't been to Stuttgart, so I'm looking forward to learning all about it today.
Well, we have the perfect person to do that, and that is Victoria Larson. Yay! She is the principal at VK Larson Communications, and you're also the founder and publisher of siteofculture.com. Did I get that correct? Because I didn't know
You
that about
did.
Victoria. I don't know how I missed knowing that.
That's okay. It's we kind of got it going a little bit more during COVID, but I mean, it was around a couple of years before that, but I had more time to work on it. It's really great. This really focuses on under the radar cultural and artistic organizations and people. So it's fun. Yeah, check
Very
it
cool.
out.
But I know with VK Larson Communications, though, you do a lot with Germany. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yes, I do. Thank you. And thank you for having me this morning, rainy Monday morning. I represent the state of Baden-Württemberg, and that is what is called in the international market Southwest Germany. And Southwest Germany is bordered by France over on the west, and then by Switzerland, a little bit of Austria, and then Bavaria. And it's a beautiful part of the world, and Stuttgart, where we are headed this morning, is the capital of Baden-Württemberg.
Very good. Yes, it's beautiful there too. Our backgrounds, our virtual backgrounds today, both Stephen and I, we're in Stuttgart.
That's great. Yeah, it's a beautiful city, and I think it's a place that's really easy to get to from all around Europe. Car, plane, of course, but the trains it's so easy. You can get a direct train. If you're flying into Frankfurt Airport, it's very easy to get on the train there, and you have a direct shot right down to Stuttgart and right into the middle of the city. So that's a really easy way to get there, and very pleasant. So I recommend that. There's direct 3-hour train from Paris. You can get there from Zurich down through Lake Constance. So, and all of the trains go up to to Stuttgart.
Well, while we're talking about traveling there, how are things doing now in Stuttgart? How's everything going with the recovery? And also, too, now some of the numbers started to spike again all over the world, really.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's hard for everyone. I mean, I'm really proud of my colleagues. They are pivoting and turning and really focusing on the outdoors. And everything, and there's some beautiful places and things you can do outdoors, even within the city of Stuttgart, because it's surrounded by beautiful wine fields. And so there's a lot to do outside, and, masks are everywhere. Safety and sanitary and regulations are preeminent. This is very, very important. This time of year, it's really hard, I think, for them because the Christmas markets are not happening this year. And so that's been sad. There are a few places that are serving some Glühwein, which is the hot mulled wine that people, go to Christmas markets. But it's, it's hard for them because Christmas markets, yes, they're a place to shop, but they're also a place where people gather and they have fun. They meet their friends, their families, their colleagues after work, and so this is hard for them. And plus the businesses themselves, don't have as much, obviously they're not selling their wares. So it's very hard economically too for these people. And Stuttgart had so many, oh my gosh, I think it was over 350 little kiosks and stalls throughout the main square and the Schiller Square. And then nearby was the Ludwigsburg, which is the beautiful castle and palace outside of Stuttgart. And you can reach it in 15 minutes. They too are not having their market. Esslingen, another small town right next door, has the most amazing medieval Christmas market with jugglers and people in medieval clothing. I mean, you feel like you've stepped back in time. So it's sad this year. I think it's hard for them. But I'm proud of them because throughout Germany and in Stuttgart and throughout Baden-Württemberg, Southwest Germany, they're really trying, and they're trying to keep their spirits up. And a lot of things are happening virtually. So if people are interested, for example, in Christmas concerts, a lot of the philharmonics or the ballets, they're doing things like we are here in the United States. Everybody's trying to put their best foot forward online. So you can get some of that. And hopefully everything will be back, next year. I know, fingers crossed. And as they say in Germany, you hold your thumbs, and it's like us crossing our die Daumen, and it's like us crossing our fingers, for good luck. Exactly. So that's what we do. And better times are coming. The vaccine is coming. People really, really want to travel. I think Germany and Southwest Germany are so well positioned in terms of valuing good health and cleanliness and masks. So I think when everything reopens, I think we're in a good position. People will feel comfortable and safe, coming to Germany. So that'll be a real positive. Do you know what I'm saying? And everyone's trying in Europe, throughout Europe. It's hard for everyone, but it's as you know better than anyone, Annita, it has hit the travel and tourism industry so hard, right?
Yes.
What is it? Every sixth person or something has lost their job. I don't even know the numbers anymore, but everybody's really trying, and it will come back. It's just hopefully that everybody can hang in there until it's safe again to travel.
So Victoria, let's think about now when it does come back and those brighter times that we're talking about. Let's start dreaming and planning of our trip to Stuttgart, my first trip to Stuttgart. So I'd like you to craft me what you think the perfect trip would be, but you can only include 5 things on it. Could be like somewhere to see or something to do. So that's your challenge.
That is a challenge because there's a lot to do. A lot.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here are things you absolutely cannot miss. Okay. This is hard. Okay. So when you get into Stuttgart, you have to, you're going to stay in one of the beautiful hotels in Stuttgart, right in the city center that are very easy to get around. Okay. To get around to all of the sites. But you cannot miss the Porsche Museum, okay? You cannot miss the Mercedes Museum. You cannot miss the City Square, which is in the center of the city, and the Cube Museum, which is a modern art museum, and you can go up and have dinner there and look over all of the city in the evening. It's just absolutely stunning, and that's really important. I think you have to go into the wine hills and visit all yes, it's really beautiful wine hills. And I would say just to take in the whole city, and there's so many museums there, and there's so much to do that, and also I think you should probably go to the Daimler House. I think they should do that too. So that's, Stuttgart is a city of cars, and it's a city of wine, yes, and architecture, but really a city of cars. And we can talk about that when you're ready.
Absolutely. I think you sneaked in a cheeky 6th one there, Victoria, but no problem about that. I'll go round fast so I can squeeze in a 6th one. So certainly, very car focused, but also the wine, that's interesting too. Any little insider tips for any of those popular places to go, like things to do to get them a bit cheaper, or times to go when they're a bit quieter?
Well, I'll tell you, if you really, really love Christmas markets, for example, and you want to visit them but not get all the hustle bustle, you can go up into the Modern Art Museum and overlook the entire city and all the pretty lights, and just have your glass of wine quietly in the restaurant overlooking all of them from the museum. So I'd say that's sort of a nice tip. I think what's really great in Stuttgart too is to get the Stuttcard, Instead of Stuttgart, it's Stuttgart.
Got it.
And okay. But it does give you amazing value, and you can get one for 1 day, for 2 days, or for 3 days, and you get into all of the museums for free. So and you get discounts at some of the local restaurants. So I really, really recommend that. I think and you can get that at the local, I think you can even get it at some hotels, but definitely in the tourism bureaus. So
yeah,
I really recommend that. I think that's, hopefully people know that, but I think that's a really good tip because it makes things easy, but also it saves money, right? To get around. So yeah.
You can do more for less.
That's
excellent.
Right. Value for your dollar.
Okay, so well, I know Stuttgart's got a good wine region, but I've also heard it has the second biggest beer festival.
Oh.
What can you tell us about that and any other festivals as well you'd recommend?
Okay, so festivals, Stuttgartians, if I can call them that, love their festivals. And the Cannstatter Vasen is the second biggest beer festival, probably 4 million people. And that's after Oktoberfest in Bavaria with its 6 million people. And it's way fun. There's, I think, 6 beer halls, 2 wine tents. There's a whole bunch of rides you can go to. And it's fun. Everybody goes out there, all of the locals, everybody from every age group and every economic background. It's just a whole coming together of the city, and people just have so much fun. And it runs also in October, sort of the end of September, beginning of October. And right before that, oh my gosh, this is such a fun time to be in Stuttgart. There's a wine festival, and they call it the Stuttgart Wine Village. And that's so much fun. And that's an annual event. And they have just like the Christmas markets, they have little kiosks, but instead it's filled with bottles of wine. So you've got these, you can get you buy your Viertel, which is your little glass, and you can fill it with, you go from place to place and fill it with the different wines. And there's like 500, I don't know, about 500 different kinds of wines that you can try in this area. There's a lot of Rieslings. There's some Lembrücker. Oh my gosh, I'm not even thinking of all the wines. Some good reds, and it's a traditional wine area. Okay, right? It's one of Germany's 13 wine producing regions. It's called the Württemberg wine region, but it's also got a lot of young wine growers are coming in and taking over. So it's exciting because new people are coming in, new young people are coming in. And so, and there's even a wine museum in Stuttgart, but they have these wonderful festivals, they have this Frühlingsfestival, which is the spring festival. I mean, that's really fun. Then they have the Christmas market. So there's always something going on. Do you know what I mean? There's always, they have a huge car fair in March. That's really fun. So you can, if you're really into cars, you can go to the car show and then go to the car museums and the Daimler House. So there's a lot of adjacencies. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But 2 key themes I can see coming out are cars and alcohol, which are probably fine in separation, but you wouldn't want to do the 2 at once. Not advised.
No. Not definitely not advised, and definitely something that they have very strict laws about. So yes, you can enjoy them, but not together. And you can actually go to the museums there. The Mercedes Museum and the Porsche Museum have wonderful restaurants where, of course, you can get a nice glass of wine, and a nice meal, or you could go and just have a coffee. And but you can't, you don't drive away. You walk away.
Yes, and I'm sure with the wonderful city centre hotels, they would be very close by anyway.
Yes. And I have to mention, if we're going to talk about cars, I do have to mention that Stuttgart has 2 car-themed hotels. So you can actually go and stay in a room that's like a car wash or a gasoline station. So that's really fun for gearheads, for people really liking their cars. What's good.
That's amazing. So tell me more about this car wash room.
Well, I haven't stayed in it, but I've seen a lot of pictures of it. But like the bed comes out from the wall, and then there's this, and I think the whirly brushes are there.
Oh my God.
And I can't remember everything that's in it, but it's fun. You feel like you're kind of in a car wash.
Yeah, and you wouldn't need a shower because you could just lay in bed
Right.
then and be brushed.
But it is a regular hotel room too. You do have a shower, you do have a bed. Okay. I mean, the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, lots of insider tips there. Thank you, Victoria.
Absolutely.
Yeah, some really great ones there. But now, since I've been there, and especially with you, because you showed us so much of Southwest Germany, what type of holiday maker would you recommend Stuttgart to? I mean, because outdoors, wine, as we've already mentioned, people can definitely go hiking, the great spas. I mean, there really is something for everyone. But if you were like recommending, is there any particular type of holiday maker? Or something for everyone?
It kind of feels like there's something for everyone, because it kind of depends on, I could fashion an itinerary for you if you just want to do history and castles and palaces.
Yeah.
You want to go the way, this is one of the most castle-rich areas of all of Germany. And if you want to delve into history, back to the times of the Romans, it's got it in spades. And you can do that route. You can drive it, or you can bike it. And in some areas, you can even hike it. So, again, it's history for the young, old, or even middle age. Or for example, if you like food, we have 87 Michelin stars. So it is one of the most I don't think many people are aware of what a food destination this is. And it's, the Michelin stars speak for themselves, but it's also just the everyday restaurant and pub. They have the most delicious foods. So if you are a foodie and you like wine, this is a great place to go to. So if that's kind of your focus, and then you like to do a few other things also during the day, there's also hiking. So if you just like to do like hiking, and there's the Black Forest, and then there's another whole region, which is very flat and very, very beautiful, and that's all around Lake Constance. And so if you've got a young family and you want to bike, for example, you can bike around Lake Constance, and they've got 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites there. They've got a botanical garden there, and they've got in Friedrichshafen, they have the Hindenburg thing. So there's that is like a playground for young kids, and parents who want to have a nice vacation and have a glass of wine at night, but also to show some history to their kids, and have a nice time. So, there's a whole scavenger hunt, for example, in the botanical garden of Mainau, that kids can go around the garden and find, so there's, I think, something for everyone. And then that, you can go home or to your hotel at night and have a nice dinner and a glass of wine, and the kids can play nearby, and I have to say, it's really, and throughout Germany, but also in Southwest Germany, it is great value for the dollar. Most of the hotel overnights are far less expensive than you'll find in other places in Europe. So the food is really good, and it's not just meat. I haven't eaten meat in 35 years, and there's always delicious food for me to eat there. So, I think for families, it's great, but there's a lot of luxury too. There's some 5-star hotels there that are just knock your socks off, and they're family-owned, beautiful hotels that have been in the family for generations. And a 3-star meal at one of these places is like half of what you might pay for in other places in Europe. So I think, for a place, it really combines a lot. And I think that's it. I feel very fortunate to represent it, because there's so much to offer there.
Yeah, they kind of make your job easy, because there's so many things to do, and it's so beautiful there. Now,
that's right.
I guess this question kind of ties in with what you just said, but is there a better time to go? It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like it's just kind of what you want to do, but is there a best time?
Well, my favorite time is springtime. And the reason why is because the weather's pretty nice most of the year, but April, May is really lovely and everything's starting to blossom and bloom. And most importantly, the white asparagus is coming up. And the white asparagus is so delicious. And they even have an asparagus root, and you can go pick your own asparagus and you can eat asparagus, and there are asparagus menus. But honestly, it is so much fun because I think everybody's sort of awakening from the winter time and things are coming back to life, and the asparagus is just phenomenal. And it's sort of, I don't know, just fun. You know, you can get your potatoes and asparagus with a cream sauce, or salmon with the asparagus and a cream sauce, or just a big plate of asparagus with nothing, you know, and a glass of white wine. It's just the best.
Yeah, although I haven't been to Stuttgart, I've been to other places in Germany around the June time, I think it is. They just have the incredible asparagus menus. It's like a separate, like, a la carte menu where everything includes asparagus, starter, main course. Not sure about dessert, but I'm sure there's probably
there's asparagus ice cream.
Oh, tell us. Yeah. Oh, sounds good.
But you are right about the menus. There's always, on one side is the normal restaurant menu, and on the other side is the asparagus menu. You're absolutely correct. And actually in Schwetzingen, which is not too far from Stuttgart, they call it the king of vegetables because it was grown in the Schwetzingen garden and palace there. That was the summer palace to the Heidelberg kings. And so they still call it the king of vegetables in Schwetzingen. It's supposed to be, who knows, this is probably a bone of contention with someone, but some of the best asparagus in all of Germany.
Very well deserved, I'm sure.
Certainly very good. I certainly enjoyed eating my way.
Right?
That's
right.
And, you know, the interesting thing, too, is that, you know, someone may say, well, I don't know if I want to, you know, just eat asparagus, you know, asparagus. But you really did not get, you know, tired of it. I mean, it didn't become, you know, what else can I have? Because there's so many different ways to have it, as you mentioned. And
right.
It's so enjoyable. And it's such a nice treat because, you know, you can't have it year round.
Exactly. Good point. Yeah, you're right.
But now, I didn't give it a ton of insider tips. So, Stephen, I don't know, do you think there's some more insider tips?
Well, can you think of any insider tips you haven't mentioned, Victoria? I think you've done pretty well, actually. I've lost count.
I know. I'm sorry. I just really like this. It's so fun. Well, I will say one thing. If you really like wine and you like being outdoors, but you're not sure you want to hike you can get, it's really popular around Stuttgart, are e-bikes. And so you can get normal bicycles too, and you can rent them everywhere. And what's great is you just use your credit card and you can pop it in, pop it out, and off you go. And then you bring the bicycle back. But you can also do this with e-bikes. And around the Stuttgart, there's a lot of wine hills that go up and down. So the e-bikes are sort of a nice, that's a nice, thing to do. So that
gives you a little helping hand when you're going up a steep hill. Sounds perfect for me. I would absolutely be all over the e-bike.
But then again,
I do anything else if you've got something to help you.
Well, exactly. But that said, I still don't really recommend drinking and driving. So take it easy on the wine if you do that.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
May end up in a wine field.
Or stay in the city centre hotel and try and do everything walking. I always think walking around a city or any destination is a great way to see it, because you see so much more than if you're in a car or train or anything and moving fast.
That's so true.
I think it's come to the time of the show now where we're going to do the fact check.
Ooh.
So Annita's been desperately researching and finding out things, like little things, unusual, interesting things about Stuttgart, and I think she's come up with about 6 that she's going to fact check with you.
Uh-oh.
So Annita will tell you the fact, and you tell us whether it's correct or not. And maybe can add to it or give us even more insider tips. So each week I give Annita a prize for everyone she gets right that's related to the destination. So Stuttgart, I don't know whether I'm going to say this right, but I think is very famous for its pretzels, Brezel?
Oh, Brezel. Yes.
Oh, you're right. Brezel.
Yes. Oh. I'm not supposed to answer, am I?
No, that's fine. We haven't started the competition yet. Oh. So it's a pretzel. So Annita will get a pretzel or pretzel for every question she gets correct. I think it'll go very nice with her other prizes because she's won chocolate bars and I think Guinness on the last show. So she'll get some pretzels to go with that. So do you want to kick off with your first fact then, Annita?
Oh, well, yes, but I always have to say this at the beginning of this, Stephen, that I am waiting. I'm awaiting all of these wonderful things I've won. And, I also said, if I'm going to have the pretzel, I also need to add some German beer to that. I mean, it's never too much beer. I also have the beer from Germany as well. And some wine and some champagne. I mean, I want all of it.
I'm going to be having excess baggage when I meet you wherever it is in the world. I'm going to have so many suitcases full of beers and foods and things. It's going to be difficult for me to carry, I think. But it's all going to add up, and I'm making a note of it.
Yes, and that's okay. You have those big, strong muscles. You can handle a lot of those excess bags. No problem. So, Victoria, this is our time to shine. So you got to help me out here.
All right.
That, as Stephen said, with my research, I've done a good job, but I know that you speak fluent German, so you will probably have to help me out with some of these words.
Okay. All right,
I couldn't even get pretzel right, so good luck to you, Annita.
Well, I don't know. This first one, I'm starting off with one where I need some help. Stuttgart has the first concrete tower in the world. But I can't pronounce the name of it. But it comes complete with a restaurant and viewing tower at the top. So is that a true fact? And what is that called?
Well done, Annita. It is called the Fernsehturm, which is the TV tower. Fernseh is the TV part, and tower is the Turm part. And it is one of the most beloved places in Stuttgart because you can get a really good view from the city. And the restaurant there is called Leonidas, and that's down at the bottom. But then there's a cafe at the top, and there's a little store there. It is a really, really great place to go visit. Highly recommend. Good going. So it's true.
Annita, but I'm sorry, I'm going to add something to this. If she wants a pretzel, she needs to say that word. You need to say that word, correct? Okay, give it another go.
Well,
okay. Take it in 3 parts.
Do I still get the beer, or do I get something else?
Yeah, you get a bonus if you get it right first time. So give her one last practice, Victoria. How did she say it?
Okay. Fernsehturm.
Fernsehturm.
Excellent. That was brilliant.
Yay.
I think you deserve a beer.
Yes. The beer.
Not the beer.
Oh, I get the beer.
She'll probably say.
I think she gets
probably
the beer.
say it. You should say it better after a few beers.
Annita, Prost.
There's no telling what I would say after a few beers. So
I think we better move on to the second fact, Annita.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so the petrol-powered car was born in Stuttgart. The first one? Yes.
That was good. Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
Now, do you know who made it? Oh.
Daimler and Benz.
Daimler's right. And who worked with Daimler? This is a tough one.
Benz.
I know that. Maybach. Remember the old Maybach?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Funny. I know. Benz was around and he was competing. He was coming up with his own thing.
Okay.
So, yeah. It's interesting, right? Little competition goes a long way, huh?
It does. But so at some point then Daimler and Benz.
Yes, they did later on. It's a very complicated history. Super interesting, but very complicated history, and they came together. Yes.
And I'm thinking if you go to the Mercedes-Benz Museum, the Benz Museum in Stuttgart, you can learn all of this history.
You totally can. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I mean, the Mercedes Museum is absolutely amazing. And there's a Daimler museum in Schorndorf, which is right in the Stuttgart suburb, and it's fascinating. And that's the workshop where he actually made the car, the first engine. So yes, you can see and experience all of this when you go to Stuttgart, and you can, see his house too. So it's very interesting. I mean, like, Stuttgart is a place for gearheads, like people who are really interested in engines and cars, but also people who just like the way cars look, fancy cars, fun, fancy, famous cars, they're all there too.
Well, I remember when I first started with Pan Am, and one of my first trips to Germany, and we were picked up in Mercedes-Benz taxis, and I was just like, what is this?
It's normal. I know. It's really amazing. I know.
I thought we were very special. I was like, oh, this Pan Am job is really going to be pretty cool.
That's good. That's funny.
Okay, so do I get my pretzel, Stephen? Stephen's being tough today.
You're on a roll.
Definitely worth a pretzel, at least.
I know. I'm counting on those beers too. Alrighty, so here's the next one. Stuttgart has 20 kilometers of stairs around the city.
Okay, it's true. I would, and now I normally wouldn't, you don't have to be in super good shape to visit Stuttgart. However, most of the stairs, I believe, are in and around the wine fields. So there's that. But however, if you do want to stay in shape in Stuttgart, it's pretty easy to do that too during the day. Yes, that's true. Good for you.
Yeah.
3 points.
Definitely. You're working to a bottle of beer for sure.
Hey, if I'm walking an eighth of those stairs, I'll need a couple of beers.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but a great way to see the city, though, because otherwise, if those stairs were not there, there would be some areas that wouldn't be accessible. So it's really a positive, really good thing to have all of those stairs. Okay, here's another.
They haven't got any escalators then, like in Hong Kong, we have where we've got very steep slopes and stairs. We have little escalators for the out of state people.
Yeah, but it's different because Hong Kong, it's different altitudes within the city, but in Stuttgart, it's pretty flat where the city center is and all the residential areas, whereas Hong Kong, if I remember correctly, like
in the center,
you really have to go up in the center. So it's not quite as steep as Hong Kong. Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, you're safe.
Okay, here's another one then, Victoria. Stuttgart has a unique mammoth tree that are also native here in the U.S.
Okay, this is a hard fact. This is pretty amazing, but you are correct. And you definitely are working our way to a beer for this one.
I had to dig deep for this one.
Yeah, this is a big one because practically no one knows this fact, but it's a really good one. And it goes back for many, many years. And I think the tree is called, do you remember, Annita? Is it the sequoia?
Yeah, yes, the sequoia tree, and it goes back, you're right, it goes back a long time ago. Wilhelm the First. He had about 5,000 of them brought over to Germany and planted them all around, but the majority of them are in Stuttgart. And
these are not, sorry, go ahead, yeah.
I was just going to say, Stephen saw pictures where they actually have roads to go through them, so they really are massive.
That's cool. That's very cool.
And some of them are 2,000 years old, which is just incredible.
Wow, that's really that's really neat. Now they joke about giant sequoias being cell phone towers, but this is not cell phone tower. This is the real deal.
Yeah,
the real deal. You've got a very interesting fact coming up now, Annita. I found it one of the most interesting ones.
Okay, well, you just make sure you got that count there now for that. I got that. I want all this due me. Okay. All right, so here's the next one. Stuttgart has the largest pig museum with 50. Excuse me. I need to put my glasses on again. 50,000 pig-related artifacts. Wow.
Okay. You're right. It's true. It's amazing. I mean, it is. It may be the only pig museum in the entire world, for all I know. I'm really not sure, but there is a pig museum, and I can show you pictures of that too, if you don't believe me. But truly, there is a pig museum there, and you know, Germany is known for its very, very unusual museums, but this is right up there at the top.
Have you been there, Victoria? Have you visited?
I have been there, as a matter of fact.
Can I ask what the highlight of your visit was to the Pig Museum?
Well, speaking as a vegetarian, was probably the sort of parts on, I don't know, reading about pigs, I guess, the pictures of pigs. But it's in an old Schlachthof, which is the old
slaughterhouse.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. You speak German very well. Very good.
Psychic connection. I knew what you were thinking.
Yeah.
Well, they actually have a piggy bank room, so I can see that. I mean, pigs are kind of one of those beloved animals that you have stuffed animals. You know, Winnie the Pooh. I mean, so. Yeah, so I can see a pig museum. I definitely can.
I love pigs. I mean, and they're supposed to be very smart. I mean, I really do like pigs.
Yes.
Messy, but they're lovely. Yes.
Yes, they actually are very smart. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's okay. No, I think it's great to have a pig museum. It's different.
Yeah, for people who don't like cars or something.
Okay, Steve, are you counting? That's like...
Yes, you're on number 6 now.
I would say that's a bottle of wine too, at least.
Yes.
So you're very generous, Victoria. You're going to bankrupt me.
Okay, I had to add a 6th one, Victoria, because this is kind of like a little inside kind of joke, not joke, but inside information between Victoria and I. Because I love Porsches, and I've shared that with Victoria before. She's invited me to also go out to the Porsche Experience here in Atlanta. But a fantastic thing to do for someone for our anniversary, for our birthday, or just, you want to do something special. You get a chance to actually ride along with a professional driver, and they take you around the track a couple of times, and you get a chance to ride in one of these race formatted, I guess you'd say, Porsches, and it's just a unique experience. It was definitely a highlight. So I had to add this last fact in to see if I'm getting this right. The city gets its name from their horse breeding history, and the reason why I wanted to include it, you can tell me if that fact is right or not, Victoria, but the reason why I wanted to include it is because of the black stallion becoming the recognizable symbol for the city. And it's also part of the logo that's used with Porsche.
That is correct. I mean, the only thing I don't know, I mean, you're absolutely right. It is the logo for the city and it is the logo for Porsche, but I don't know if it's coincidental or if it was done on purpose that Porsche took its logo from the city. So I don't know that. It might be coincidental. But I don't know if Porsche had that logo before they moved over to Stuttgart. So that's a good question. But either way, it is a wonderful coincidence. If it is a coincidence, it's a wonderful one. And Porsche really is synonymous with Stuttgart and what goes on there. So, obviously there's the museum, there's a rolling museum. You can see the workshops, you can go into the factories. I mean, there's so much to do there. With Porsche, so but that's correct. You're right. It's they're both 6 for 6, right? Don't you think that's fine?
I thought I was going to have a cheap week with pretzels, but now I've got carried away, and I think you've got 6 bottles of German wine, 6 bottles of German beer, and 6 pretzels.
Well done, Annita.
I know. Well, what I need to do is I need to twist his arms and legs and see if I can get a Porsche out of him. That's what I'm doing.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Better go to the pig museum and get a piggy bank and save for a long time, I think, before I can give you a Porsche. Though I'd love to give you one if I could.
Well, there are those little mini toy ones, so you can give me one of those.
That's true. That's true. Or maybe I've seen the little children's ones. They're quite cute. You can drive around. Yeah. Don't know whether you'd fit, but you could try. Anyway, let's go on to travel news now. So I've got a question for Annita and Victoria. Have you seen the Queen's Gambit yet on Netflix?
I haven't, and I can't wait to see it. I have heard nothing but the best things about it. And I was listening to NPR the other morning, and they were doing this whole thing on how chess sets are sold out all over the United States. And I mean, like the sales are up like 1,500%, if that's such a thing. I mean, you know, it's just all the toy stores are completely out of chess sets. And she's just grabbed the star of the show. I can't remember her name right now, but she's just grabbed everybody's hearts and minds. And the kids are so excited to play chess. And especially, of course, during COVID, when everybody has to be inside anyway. So, but from adults to children, I'm really looking forward to seeing that movie. Or is it a show or is it a movie?
It's a mini series. I think it's about 6 or 7 shows.
Okay.
They're excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something you need to binge watch and watch it all together.
Yeah, that's what I kind of feel like would be a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so about it because I can't play chess. It's too complicated for me. There's too much going on. But you don't need to know anything about chess to thoroughly enjoy the show. It's excellent.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Yeah.
Just as you're saying, Victoria, kind of chess sets are flying off shelves now. So everyone's trying to cash in on it. And why not, including the Kimpton Hotel Group, who are offering Queen's Gambit themed breaks. So they'll bring a chessboard up to your room, for example. Each hotel is offering a Queen's Gambit inspired cocktail, including Beth's favourite, and she likes a few of these when you watch the show, the White Lady cocktail. And as an added bonus, part of the Kimpton group is the Shorebreak Hotel in Huntington Beach. And outside the hotel, they have a giant chess board.
Oh, that's fun. I've actually seen that hotel at Huntington Beach. That's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a really fun thing. It's here in New York. I was going by a billboard and Chanel was having one of its advertisements, and it was about a woman playing chess. And it was interesting. It feels like everybody's picked up on this theme. It is a wonderful game. I played it a little bit. I'm not very good, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, and as you say,
Queen always gets captured.
If you're in a lockdown, something to while the hours away, other than watching Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. I just think chess sets are just so beautiful. They can be so intricate and so creative.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so true. It's like the epitome of like just putting a chessboard on a little table over in a corner and just, people, games can go on for days, right? And it's fun. Yeah. It's really neat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve and I spent a lot of time together in South Africa, and I actually gave my husband a chess set from South Africa that had the different tribes, as the pieces. So that was a really unique chess.
I love that. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that's true though. They're collector items, right?
They are. They're works of art, and a lot of cases, they really are.
Yeah, that's neat.
Well, this brings us to the end of the show. So, Victoria, thank you so much for coming on and sharing so many great insider tips. And I hope people don't think that I'm just going to run off and only do the wine and beer. But there are so many other great museums. And drive a Porsche. I'll look for one to drive.
Just don't do them together.
No, exactly. It's quite funny.
There's so many things to do that you've shared with us. So thank you so much. Is there any kind of last thing? What we'd love for you to do is tell us how people can, what Steve and I really want to do with this show is have people dream and plan now and travel later. So how can people find more information about Southwest Germany?
Okay, that's really great because we have 2 websites, so that would be really great. And some of them they've included a lot of stories from bloggers, Dream Now, Visit Later. But so the first website is Stuttgart and then -tourist.de /en for English. It's probably easiest. And then the second one is tourism hyphen again, little hyphen, BW for Baden-Württemberg, .com. Okay. And that's for all of Southwest Germany, but there's also a lot of really good Stuttgart information there. And you'll find also it's really fun are some recipes for Christmas cookies and things like that. So if you're interested in some, you know, making some things or reading about products that come from the region, you can go there. So that's fun, little holiday treat, you know, and lots of photographs and some videos too. So.
Very good. Very good.
Sounds wonderful. And we'll make sure we put the websites in the credits at the end of the show. And also, if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see them in the details underneath. And we'll also make sure they're on our Facebook page as well. So as Annita says, everyone can dream and travel.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Love everyone to do, if you've enjoyed the show, give us a like. Please subscribe to our channel so we can keep you updated on future shows. Leave us a comment with your feedback or ideas. We'd really love to hear from you.
Absolutely. We really love that, guys. So definitely do that. And we're always looking for great content to share with you all so that you can, as Stephen said, dream now. As Victoria said, dream now, travel later. So
it was really fun. Thank you both. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Victoria.
You make it
fun.
Thank
you very much. We try.
Yes.
That's right. Travel should be fun. It should be lots of fun.
That's right. That's right.
So thank you, guys. Thanks for joining us today. Bye.
Bye. See you next time.
Cheers.
There's my hand. There's my hand. Disappears there. There it is.
I see it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.